Waynefest 2020. My name is Alan Nolan and I'm an illustrator and I'm an author, and I write and I draw books for children. Books like Finton's 15, which is all about hurling, Connor's Caveman, which is all about a boy and a girl who find a caveman frozen in ice high up in the Wicklow Mountains, and they defrost him and they bring him into school to sort out all the bullies. Animal Crackers, I did all the illustrations from that. It was written by Sarah Webb, who's a fantastic author, and it's all about our favourite animals, which is lucky because I love animals. And the Sam Hannigan series for the O'Brien Press. Now, the latest book in the Sam Hannigan series is this one here. It's called Sam Hannigan and the Last Dodo. And it's all about a little girl called Sam Hannigan. She's about 11 or 12, and her best friend Ajay. And they run an animal sanctuary from Sam's granny's house, which is in Talla, a place called Clobberstown in Talla in County Dublin. And one night, there's a big thunderstorm. When they wake up in the morning, there's a ring on the doorbell, and they go downstairs and there's a package on the doorstep. And inside the package, they open it up, there is a dodo bird. And they can't understand how it got there because dodos are meant to be extinct. But this, they think, is the last dodo in the whole world. So Sam's job is to keep the dodo safe from these guys who are trying to track down the dodo so they can eat it. They can turn it into dodo nuggets and oven-ready dodo and roast dodo. They're really evil. They want to eat the dodo, so she has to keep it safe from them. So it's a really funny book. But I enjoyed writing it and I enjoyed drawing it. But most of all, I enjoyed designing and creating the characters, because that's what I love doing most. I love drawing. So the characters in this book are Sam Hannigan, and Sam, as I was saying, is about 11 or 12 years old. She's bright red hair, it's really curly, and she keeps it in two sort of little space buns on the top of her head. And she's actually based on me, because when I was a kid, I loved animals. I still do. So I was very like Sam. And her best friend Ajay is also based on me. He's a little bit crazy, a little bit cookie. He loves animals as well, but the type of animals he loves are animals like snakes and mice and rats and spiders and bugs and beetles and all sorts of creepy crawlies that normal people don't usually like. And then the granny in the book is called Nanny Gig, and she is based on my real granny. And you can see here, here's a picture of Nanny Gig from the book. And you can see here, here's a picture of my real loopy granny, who is called Nanny Gig. And you can see how much she looks like the Nanny Gig in the book. But the dodo was my favourite character because it's Desdemona the dodo. She's really funny. She's really bold. She's jumping up on the back of llamas. She's making all the other animals who live in the house, she's making their lives a misery. So she's really funny. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to draw Desdemona the dodo. So to draw Desdemona the dodo, all you need is some paper and a pen or a pencil. Okay, so we're going to start off in the middle of our sheet of paper. You take your pencil, the middle of your sheet of paper, you can use your paper sideways or upright, landscape or portrait. You can draw a huge big dodo, a tiny little dodo, totally up to you. It's your dodo. My one's called Desdemona. Your one could be called Derek or Danny the dodo or Deirdre the dodo, whatever you like. But I'm going to draw Desdemona here. So I'm going to start off with Desdemona the dodo by drawing a circle right in the middle of my sheet, all right? So I'm going to start with the circle. It's going to start here, and it's going to come around like this, and up like this, and you guys can copy me as I go, okay? But then I'm going to do something a little bit special. I'm going to leave two gaps in the circle, one here and one here, and then I'm going to leave a third gap right up at the top. So instead of finishing the circle right the way around, I'm going to go right like this, leave a gap there. I'm going to leave a gap here, and then I'm going to draw the rest of the circle coming around and leave another gap here. And this is because this is where I'm going to join on the wings and the head. Well, the neck that leads to the head on the dodo, because dodos have very long necks. All right? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the wings. So to draw the wings, I'm going to draw the wings by doing 3 big feathers. All right? So on this side, I'm going to draw 3 big feathers. Just like this, uno, dos, tres. So like this, 1, 2, 3 feathers like that. Okay? And then on the other side, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. 3 big feathers. a hen, a doe, a tree. There we are. And now we have what looks like an egg with 2 wings. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the dodo's tummy, because dodos have, well, the one I drew had blue feathers on her back and yellow feathers on her tummy. So just to show where the yellow feathers start and where the blue feathers end, I'm just going to do 2 curves, one going that way and one going that way, all right? So from this point here, I'm going to draw a curve coming down like this, okay? And then over the other side, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, another curve coming down like this. Brilliant. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the dodo's legs and her feet. So we start off by drawing the feathers that go around the top of her legs where they meet her body. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw 3 little feathers here, a bit like the wings but much smaller. So 3 little feathers, 1, 2, 3, okay? And then over the other side, nearly the mirror image, I'm going to draw 3 more feathers. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. And then to draw her legs, what I'm going to do, it's dead easy. I'm going to draw 2 straight lines for each leg. So 1 straight line, 2 straight lines coming from those feathers. And then over the other side, 1 straight line, 2 straight lines. Brilliant. And then for her feet, I'm going to do something a bit silly on this. I'm going to draw her feet by drawing 3 sausages. So like this, 1, 2, 3 sausages. And I apologise if there's any vegetarians or vegans in the audience, but they could be vegetarian sausages. So we draw 3 sausages. So we draw 1, 2, 3. And we'll draw over here 3 more sausages, vegetarian sausages. Linda McCartney, Linda McCartney, Linda McCartney. There we go. Brilliant. And then to give the dodo some scaly legs, I'll just draw a few little lines going across each leg like that, and make her legs look like they're a bit scaly. Great stuff. Now we're going to do the neck and the head of the dodo, all right? So to do her neck, it's very easy again. It's just 2 lines going straight up. So one like this and one like this, okay? And then to draw her head, we're going to do something a little bit like, we're going to draw a circle, but do it a little bit like we drew a circle for her tummy. We're going to do a circle, but we're not going to finish it off completely. We're going to leave a little bit at the top, and I'll show you why in a second. We're going to draw a circle that comes around like this, down, 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 round, 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 meets the neck, back up, and then stops. So we're going to leave a little bit of space there at the top. And that's because in the book, I have a little bit of a crazy hairdo on the dodo. So I'm going to give the dodo I'm drawing today, I'm going to give Desdemona a little bit of the same kind of quiff hairdo that I gave her in the book. So it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 little feathers like that. Brilliant. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to draw the dodo's eye. And this is really easy because you see the circle? I'm going to draw another circle inside it, just like that. Okay? So it looks like a bit of a donut with a bite out of it, or a little bit of frosting coming off the side. Okay? And then inside that eye shape, we're going to draw the pupil of the eye, and I'm going to do that by doing another circle yet again. Okay? And then inside that, we're going to make it a little sparkly eye, so I'm going to draw another circle just like that. And then I'm going to colour in the big area here. So just colour it in black. And if you're going over the lines, guys, or if your circles are a bit bockety, don't worry, this is only a bit of practice, it's only a bit of fun. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. In fact, there's no such thing as perfect, and it'd be terrible if there was, so we're fine. You have a bockety circle, so do I. It's grand, it's your dodo, it can look whatever way you like it to. Okay guys, so we're nearly finished this dodo. All we have is the beak to do, but before we do the beak, we'll do her tail, because dodos have a little bit of tail at the end, and I'm going to give her 4 feathers for her tail. So just down the end of her tummy, I'm going to draw a tail that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 little feathers down the bottom. So it looks like the dodo is jumping up in the air, probably up onto the back of that poor llama. And then I'm going to draw her beak. So her beak is easy to do. I'm going to draw 2 lines straight out like this from her head. Okay? And then to make her beak open, because she's always squawking like that, I'll draw an open beak, I'm going to draw a line coming straight down like this, okay? And then a curved line going back to her head. So starting at the end of her beak, a curved line goes back to her head like that. Okay, and we're nearly done. All we have to do is the hook on the end of the dodo's beak. Because dodos have big hooks in the end of their beak, and that's how they picked up the mangoes and the papayas that they used to eat. And they break them open with this big sort of red hook at the end of their beak. Well, I drew it as red in the book. So to draw that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line straight down here at the end of her beak. Okay. A huge big hooky curve coming around like this. Okay, so a big semicircle. And then another semicircle, but a small one. And go the opposite way. It'll go from here up to here, okay? So it'll start here at the end of her beak and go to there. And then if you like, you can add in feathers, a few little feathers like that, a few feathers coming off her like this because she's jumping up in the air and squawking. There we go, a few little feathers. And that is your dodo. Well done, everybody. And enjoy the rest of Waynefest 2020. See you guys.